What's up, everyone? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another live stream. My name is Hans. Remember, I am simply a dude on the internet, simply human. What's up, Goshen, Kesa, Dixon Cider, Mr. D, Red Squirrel, Oi, Mouse, we'll look at launch, and Pulse Spot. How did you figure out how to sell? Yes, I figured out how to sell Blast. Why is the slippage so insane? It seems like the exit is 20% to get out, so I need to compensate for that. It needs to go a little bit higher. I actually bought the exact bottom. Mr. D, did you see any, Hans, did you see any warnings to trim profits before this recent dip? I so nearly took 20% out, but failed miserably. Would love to be DCIing back in now. I did say on my bet rate is a bit low. Let's see what's going on here. Is if there's anything wrong with the live stream, just let me know. I'm getting some errors, so I haven't changed any settings. It's pretty laggy here. I don't know. Either way, let me know if there's any issues. So why is the slippage so insane? Yeah, you need to exit with 20%. It's a reflection token. So I did say on Katie's channel that the only concern was that we had bearish divergences. I mean, like 6 months ago, I said that it's probably a good idea to take profits before the Bitcoin halving. As we're pretty much in the middle of eclipse season now. The 5th will be a micro moon eclipse, and but it ends at the 6th of April. There's another eclipse on the new moon. I know it's probably funny looking at astronomy, but it works. For some reason, it works. Yeah, so I sorted out the blast slippage issue. You need to put let's open up PulseX actually, so I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay. Let's go to the exchange. Bookmark gorealdefi.com, please, so you don't get scammed. Let's copy Blast here. Where's Blast? I think I moved it up a little bit. So we're going to copy the contract address. I literally bought the lows here. So you're going to copy the contract address. You're going to paste it in here. But this is nowhere to be selling Blast down here, right? I literally bought the bottom of this candle here yesterday. So we're going to import it, understand what's up. You're going to have to switch off the auto router here. So you get the V1 there. And then you go to settings and you change this to 20%. Then your transaction should go through. Disable, auto router, etc., etc. Greetings, Hans. TA on Tetra up X and time. Appreciate it. Sure. Oh, you know what I should do? I should open up my restream here so I can see the comments from Twitter over here. Yeah, so drop in the coins that you want me to take a look at. I will chart them for you. New comments will be displayed here. So, Twitter guys, I'm sorry if I missed some of your requests there. But we are looking at your chat here now. Okay, yeah, so that's how you get Blast. Yeah, so now while we wait for people to roll in and put in their requests, if you enjoy these videos, you can click the like. And do sub to the channel so you can be notified of when I go live. Okay, so let's get into your coins. So we do have an FOC meeting, and I think that actually, if I refresh this, we should, yeah. Let's see here if we've got an announcement. Okay, yeah. So it has come out. The Fed rate has stayed the same. Remember what I said, that the Federal Reserve does not like scaring the market. This will listen. So Jerome Powell will probably have a larger effect on the market than any rate cut. So lots of volatility probably going on here. If we go to shorter time frames, we'll probably see, yeah, look at this volatility here. Massive dump in the dollar. Remember, this is good for your risk assets. So BTC, let's go down to a shorter time frame here and see what's going on here. Yeah, so volatility to the upside while the dollar is dumping. Let's see what the S&P is doing. Not much. Do I have gold up here? Let's see what gold is doing. Gold rallying on the drop of the dollar. You don't want to be trading this volatility. You'll be absolutely wrecked. I mean, we're at all-time highs with gold. It's taken 17 August 2000. Is that 10 years? Let's measure this time and date. Let's go to the 12th. It's 13 years for a new all-time high. Either way, I know this is boring to you guys. Ethereum up 4%. Oh, that's almost 6% on the day. Nice little rally here. But we're probably going to get rejected at 3,700. RSI nice and low. Massive, massive bullish dips here. And BTC, obviously everything depends on what BTC does here. Probably gets rejected at 6,000, 68,800. Some bullish indicators here. Definitely a relief bounce in the cards, and we're seeing that happening now. Well, all of this is important. When BTC goes down, it drags down everything, right? The RSI is reset nicely here. We're showing at 50%. Let's measure some of these downwards moves we've had in this cycle. This has been a 17% downtrend. What is this one here? This is a 14% downtrend. I don't think this is worth measuring. Yeah, that's not worth measuring. Let's measure this one here. 21%. So you can kind of get an average of what to expect. That was 21%. There was a dip here. Oh man, you just can't get it up. It's another 21% up there. And let's see this one here. Another 20% up here. And then the first one we had was like 10%. It's not even worth. So 20%, 20%, 21%, 21%. There's a 13% here, which is out of the ordinary. So if we are to get a 20% pullback here, 57,000 USD. Let's see if those are any important fib levels. At it's the 236 probably. Yeah, it's this one over here. It's already bounced. Okay, let's try and get this as accurate as possible. Right at the lows there. That looks like it is at the highs here. So yeah, slap bang 60k would be a very, very normal retracement that we've seen in the past or in this cycle, right? So it could be, I don't think it's over just yet. I would look to at least the 7th of April over here. Let's mark it here on the chart. And we'll take a look at that in the future. Either way, these dips are normal. These are buying opportunities, especially your low cap altcoins, as they take most of the punishment. Yeah, let's get to our favorite coins. Good evening, sirs and gentlemen and ladies. Let's see. Okay. BLS, we still have a higher low here. We just marked that on the chart. That is exactly at the SAC rate. We can also see some confluence with the golden ratio, which is just below the 61.8. Let's throw up our Ikimoku cloud here, because I made a post about this yesterday on the Twitters. 60, 61, 20, and 30. I'm just making these lines move much slower, because crypto moves much faster than Forex. This is generally a Forex indicator. And you can see we're bouncing off the cloud here, right? Good reaction here, dipped in, dipped out. So let's see if we can trend here sideways and hold this as a support. You can see how it's trending higher here, right? So yeah, we just need to move sideways here slowly but surely and hold it as support. So when you get so far away from the cloud, and you can see how far you got away from the cloud at the bottom here. So at the bottom and the top of this cloud, now the cloud hasn't formed here, but you've got your lines, right? The price action always wants to revert back to the mean, and the mean is the cloud, right? And we can see if you get far away from it on the upside, it wants to come back, and when you get far below it, it wants to get back. It pops up here. Hi Hans, thanks for sharing. It's a pleasure, eh? So yeah, bouncing here off nicely. Let's do the 3-day. The cloud hasn't formed yet. I think this is the bottom of the cloud that's formed, so it's not really. That's a good little doji candle there on the weekly. I mean, if we're not even to come to test the 61.8, that would be very, very powerful if we don't even test this level. But there is a fair value gap here. Let's go to the daily. It's much clearer here, I think, on the probably on the weekly. Yeah, so if we go on the weekly, this is called the fair value gap. See, there was no price action that was traded in this area. It just moved through that. So sometimes the market would like to fill those wicks. That would be terrible if we go down there. That would probably mean we see a very large, exaggerated correction for BTC. Right, so you need to find support at these levels, otherwise you're going to fill this whole gap here. That would suck, oh my goodness. But either way, it's just part of the journey, right? So these corrections are very, very normal. Let's put that same fib study on PLS. So your golden ratio here, we still haven't touched this. Not only that, you've still got higher lows here defending this price action, this price chart structure. It's not the end of the world if you lose these highs, because there was another one here that it seems held as support. So yeah, but we did lose it though. Still, many of the USD values will look a lot like PLS, as many of them are valued against PLS, and Hart's law will pull them up as PLS also goes up in price action. So this is the weekly on the PLSX ratio. There's no bearish divs on this chart, but the RSI is very, very high. It's definitely not an area to be chasing PLSX. You should have been accumulating it at the lows here. Now I've practically beaten this horse to death. You should have been in this trade already. It's practically gone. Please raise the volume a bit. Sure, I will do that for you. Testing 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's at max. Maybe if anybody else has issues with volume, let me know, because I'm maxed out. It's probably your side. Yeah, so I'll watch the chat. That's a big W. Yeah, it is. It's massive. You can see it here. Look at this W. It's perfect market structure, right? This looks like a massive cup and handle, honestly. Right? With your correction here. The thing with the cup and handle is that the chart's not allowed to fall below the 50%. The handle is not allowed to go below the 50%. Let's mark that 50% up here. If it drops, if the handle drops below the 50% at 0.37, it's not the cup and handle anymore. You can see the massive rounding bottom, little correction, because you get resistance at the all-time highs, and off you go. But this all-time high has poked through, and this is gonna want to go higher. You don't want the chart to start poking and breaking structure, right? You've had all of this. The all-time high, it's practically lost. So this tells you that it's going to make all-time highs and trade higher here. It's just how it works. Let's see what Jira is. Nah, he's still not live. We can watch it if you guys want to. Audio is fine. You sound like a 19s video DJ. Hope that's a positive. So we'll see what Jerome Powell says. I mean, with a frothy market like this, you don't want to be dovish, right? He's gonna have to be very hawkish. As I mean, this is not the atmosphere to be cutting rates, right? Everything's at all-time highs. Gold is at all-time highs. All indices, not only in the US, but everywhere, is at all-time highs, right? Let's look at NVIDIA here, just smashing to all-time highs. The Nasdaq, your technology stocks, at all-time highs, right? And value or risk is now starting to flow into cryptocurrencies. BTC all-time highs. Not at all-time highs, but did poke above all-time highs. And like I just told you, when you start breaking structure like this, you can get corrections, right? But that wick at the top there tells you that this market is going much higher. And it is. We're in that 18-year property cycle. This is the last phase of the explosive phase. And now many people are saying that we're going to top out earlier because it's been this volatile. We've never performed this well before the halvening. And that is true. We've never been this high this quickly on BTC. What it could mean is the altcoins or the crypto can top out before the property cycle, or the property can top before property tops, because generally people, when they make profits in the stock market and in crypto or wherever, they flow those profits into property, right? Everybody wants to buy a house, and that actually creates the top in the property cycle. So we can top in 2025, late into October, and then property can top like into 2026, right? As people take profits out of the stock market and buy the top in the property market, right? And then you get that massive pullback into in real estate. So you get that 30 to 50% correction that happens at the end of the 18.6 year property cycle, and this is the everything bubble and the AI revolution. So it's going to be it's going to get really, really stupid. And I've been saying these things literally from the lows. So interesting times that we live in, hey? Yeah, I don't want to go through all of my coins. So yeah, drop your coins. Let's look at them. So let's see what are the top gainers. So Up and UpX seems to be rallying a little bit here. For some reason, catching a bid, but there is bullish divergences here. This chart has probably found its bottom here. The only concern here is that you've lost your lows, and this is up versus PLS. So you've got bullish divergences here. It's pretty much confirmed already. You can see this is broken out. So and you can see the clear W down here, right? So there's the start of a larger W, and inside that W is a smaller W. The thing is, I've been dollar cost averaging this asset down all the way from the 78.6 level, so I'm practically stacked on this. But yeah, this is a very clear signal there that this wants to reverse here. So maybe it's finally found its bottom here. UpX does look a little bit better. Let's switch to rapid pulse as it has defended its lows. Let's see, was 31.96, 31. So that is lower, unfortunately. Yeah. So the bulldoves has been invalidated. You can argue that there's maybe some bulldoves here, and then you can see the clear W forming now, and it's almost broken out. It's almost ready to go. It's your breakout level. It's the last little bit of resistance before it breaks out. Yeah, so off the bat here, I've given you guys a coin that looks really, really good. And this is where you look for these things, right? Everybody wants it up here, but we're looking for these opportunities down here, right? Just to the all-time highs. It's a 5x in your PLS just to the all-time highs. Okay. The PZN guys are here. Let's look at it. I remember last time you made new lows. Let's see. So the USD chart's still fine. You've already retested this breakout level that's marked here. That is 30.25, so it's lower. There's some bullish divs here. Price action lower, indicator higher. Indicators practically reset. You just this is the 3-day chart, but yeah, that's your W there. It's at resistance, about to break higher. The granny can wait for a breakout candle, for that candle to close up here, and a confirmation candle to stay above there for her trading signal to go long. She doesn't have to catch a falling knife. She can wait for it to break out. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with coins that are back at the bottom of their ranges before they're bumped, right? We want cheap deals, right? We spoke about this wick here. You don't want to make new lows, but it's not the end of the world. Doesn't mean you can't go higher after that. I just prefer better looking charts, right? Okay, I don't know how I can make my streams more exciting, right? Because people are complaining about that. I'm just doing what I do. Heart versus PLS. I should go back to read short heart. 10k liquidity, 11 days. Which pair should we look at? This one's the largest. It's versus X. Gosh. Massive selling volume here. Let's see what the top traders are doing. Okay, so it's not that huge. There's some guys selling here that didn't buy on the market. Their stack could have come from another wallet. You're practically catching a falling knife here. But there is bull depths here from there to there. You can see the RSI is trending higher. This is going lower. I mean, if you loved it up here, you should really like it down here. So yeah, these things are very, very risky, right? So you need to manage your risk. That means of your trading portfolio that you set aside on a hot wallet to trade with, of that portfolio, you can only put 5% on something like this, or even less. I never even reached that 5% of my trading portfolio on something like this. Because this is very risky, right? Because it can literally just go down. What's up, Blue Bun? Yeah, like if you have suggestions for me to make my streams more exciting, you can always post it in my comments. I always read my YouTube comments. You guys can message me on Twitter, right? Comment, tell me what I need to do better, honestly. Okay, let's fiat. This is the fork of Aave. So there's going to be much more liquidity on PHUX, but the balancer coins are not on Dex Screener just yet. It seems I did see comments that they now finally have added balancer forks recently, but oh no. Yeah, PHUX hasn't been added yet, so this is where most of the liquidity will be. I don't know if these lows have been defended. We're probably going to have to zoom in all the way. Let's see, 0, 6. Let's plot both and see if that's the same number. 688, yeah, it seems like it did make a new low. 6, 7, 6, 8, 8. Okay, so yeah, that second one is lower, which confirms the bullish divergence. Now, so there is some strength in this chart as price action is going lower, indicators much higher. Let's go to Rapid Pulse, see if we can see anything there. Not a nice chart, eh? I like the understated, non-fake excitement buy. Maybe talk about how you use indicators or why you don't. Yeah, or you can look at any indicator, right? I like the RSI because it's not too fast and it's not too slow. The MACD tends to be much quicker. And then you've got something slow like the OBV. And all I look for is for it to be low, right? We don't want these things up here. We want for the momentum to be down here, right? And then I look for bullish divergences. A divergence is when something is going one way and the indicator is going the other way. Price action going one way, indicator going the other way. You're catching a falling knife here. I mean, this is getting oversold here nicely. You don't know where this is going to stop. You need to see some market structure here on the chart. Some higher lows, right? And then a higher high. So it's got a lot more work to do. We don't know if this has bottomed. I mean, the RSI is getting lower, but we don't know much yet. I mean, we can pull up the MACD. This is probably forming some bullish divs already. Yeah, you can see how the MACD is trending higher. Price action is going lower. And this is the weekly scale. Wow, let's go to shorter time frames. I don't know why I'm on the daily. Maybe this tells us something. So, I mean, lots of bullish divergences here on the daily. I think the weekly is probably safer. And it's about to cross. Daily has made a new low, even today. So it definitely has a little bit more work to do. I mean, very, very weird chart. Like even PHUX, it just trends down. I don't know if it's because it's an incentive token. The incentive token looked like this, eh? But it did give us a clear indication when it formed some bullish divs and some markets, some higher lows. So we'll just have to keep an eye very, very closely on this, and that's your guys' job to remind me of these charts. So let's just put it on the watch list at least. If you want to learn the granny style of investing, you can get the ebook that also gives you access to the Telegram where you can ask me questions. I also post what I'm buying, when I'm buying it, and there's like almost 200 people there discussing coins, discussing strategies. Or you can choose the cheaper option, which is Patreon, and it also gives you access to Telegram, and I write a few reports there, some interesting things I'm seeing on the chart, and newsletters. So yeah, it depends on what you want to do. Let's look at Gophers for Mr. Bluebun. But I can tell you straight off the bat that you can't be interested up here, right? This has been a very, very powerful chart. Daily, very, very high on the RSI. I do not know if this is going to do a correction. What is going to happen here? And this wick complicates things a little bit. But wicks and tails like to be eaten, so we're probably going to go all the way here, all the way to the high, eat that wick, and maybe then get a correction. I've removed the first level because it felt so shallow for me because the price action was literally here. Right, I got this at literally at $200. I missed a few transactions, but I got it very, very cheaply. And I mean, I can't like I would feel very guilty for people to be buying these bags up here because I've been taking some profits and I sent half of it to the new Gopher. So I literally got a free position in this. I'm sitting pretty, and I've sent some even for the new ecosystem. Like, I'm just compounding these gains. It's getting pretty insane and pretty cool. This is the opportunity is not here yet. We need to wait a little bit to see if this does do a correction. Because it's dude, and the catcher is doing some liquidity wizardry. I don't even understand what the dude is saying, and I thought I was proficient in liquidity providing and how to explain LP, etc. But there's bearish stuff here. Price action's lower, indicator going higher, right? It's definitely the nosebleed section. But then again, this can go much higher. But value is not up here, nosebleed. But I have this, not fudding it all, very excited about the project, I like it. It's just a meme, it's not a project, no. 404s. I don't mind much for NFTs. Mega. I'm keeping an eye on Mega. Have I put it up here? Why not? Make Ethereum great again. What's the market cap on 17 million? That's quite large, eh? Okay, so Mega here. Let's look at it versus Wrapped ETH. Man, you can see that I told you that you want to see a break of this W and it's failed, right? This is why you want to wait for the W to confirm. Because if it never breaks above here, it's just going to continue doing that. So a nice little rounding bottom there. We can probably even go to the weekly scale here. And higher lows on the chart. So there's the W breakout here, but it's now fallen below that once again. I can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some here. It's incredibly cheap. You've got higher lows. You've made a higher high, but it didn't go that high. Generally, you want this bottom, the W that's formed, to at least meet its target. Let's see if it actually did do that. Yeah, just below, almost hit its target, and then got rejected. You're not in the nosebleed section. You're in location. Did we get some bullish stuffs? I hate it when this happens. This is just a large, so we'll probably have to do. Let's see if we can use the MACD. This hasn't printed yet. Let's use volume. The volume is a flat line. It's not helping us much, eh? Let's see if it's printed on the weekly. Okay, so we're just gonna have to use price action, and the analysis still stands. You're not at the highs. You're practically right back at the floor. I mean, this is down. This is down like 90% from here. And this is where I look for these things, right? Now, Scotian, sorry about that. I saw you post this earlier. There's no liquidity here. This is $100 liquidity, right? I can't show this on my right. I'm going to moon the price. Right. I mean, your coin should at least have $1,000 liquidity for me to look at it. 47% on mic. This is probably the most engaged meme coin community that there is. You've left the reload zone. Value for this was down here. Excuse the snoring. That is my dog. I don't know if it's being picked up on the. So there, that's your daily chart. You can see the clear W forming on this chart. This looks really good. But I don't like that the RSI is here. But it's very early still. So I mean, this is probably just the start of the move. The fact that this community is so engaged, I should probably be getting some here, because it is just above my reload zone. I mean, what is a few incentive tokens between friends, right? It's just a little bit more incentive that you're going to spend. But this looks now. The breakout hasn't been confirmed. It'll be confirmed above the reload zone, which isn't great, because you're gonna miss your reload zone. Should probably just bite the bullet at nibble some here. If it goes lower, I'll get some more at the next level, and if it goes lower than that, that's fine. The thing is, these guys are just everywhere, it seems. So I mean, that's a nice looking chart. You've got your nice little W forming here. Right? And if it breaks out, it's off to the races. What about good day? I actually bought, I bought today. I bought some of this. This is never, for some reason. Okay, so we don't want to look at it versus HOA. We want to look at it versus PLS. So the second one here. Right where we want to have it, eh? So this is Tom Gillespie's coin. And there, I got some. We're inside the reload zone. I'll be getting some if we do go lower than that. It is attached to the hip to HOA, and HOA has done a nice little dip. So this is going to drag it up nicely as 50k of that liquidity is attached to HOA. So it's going to send when HOA goes. HOA bounced off its reload zone. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you should have gotten it then, because it's already taken off from that area. I mean, it didn't even move with the PLS dump. So we've bounced off the 61.8, very, very low on the indicators. There's even some bullish dips here on the RSI. This RSI has never been this low on the daily. If it does go lower, and I would love for it to go lower to the 78.6 level, I would get some more there. I've already nibbled my first nibble here right at the 61.8. It never got there, but it was close enough, right? Especially with the indicators. With the indicators so low. Axis did ask me if I can take a look at his coin. You guys know this quick moves. Right, you guys know it. What I always say about quick moves is they will come down. So for the market makers of this coin, you need to take a few days and like try and form a W on your chart, right? For the whales of this coin. If we put on the line chart, you never gave us the chance to give a W. If you create good market structure, higher lows on the chart, right? Let's just have to do this for a few days, like 10 days, like something like that, right? This is going to be much more powerful to keep that trend high. Otherwise, you're just going to get this massive sell-offs every time, right? But that's opportunity, right? If you're into playing volatility and you're a professional, right? You need to wait for these reload zones and sell halves and doubles. Then you can play something like this beautifully, right? Getting off your doubles, rebuying, retraces. But this is going to unfortunately come down all the way. You can see the bearish divergences. Each peak, although each peak is higher, it continues to print these RSIs lower and lower and lower. So yeah, I had your buy up for you where you should be interested, these areas down here. And if we just do that same analysis and we ignore this recent fast move, it will show you how beautifully you came back into the reload zone, right? This is your reload zone here. And even if you caught the falling knife, we'll measure it out for you. Like, let's say you bought this first line, which is at, you can see here, 110 million PLS per Axis coin. Your first double would have been at 220, which is this area here. So even if you caught the falling knife, you would have your double and the free position in this coin easily, just like that, right? And what is after that? 440, almost got to a second double, just stopped before. Even let's say you bought your second nibble at 60, this would have brought your average to 60 plus 110, that's 170, so 340. That's your average of those two. That's your double there, free position. I don't know if I worked that out right. No, I didn't. 60 plus, that's 170 divided by 2. That is 85. Yeah, 85. So then your first double would have been right here. And then your second double. So that's the power of dollar cost averaging down. That's your first double, second double there. Very, very nicely. What settings do you use on the RSI? I use stock default. Once you know what's up, shot the hill. I'd like to think so as well. What about G'day? I like G'day. I got some. I also recently bought some Rob. Just gonna quickly check on Twitter to see if I maybe missed something. Tetra, yeah. People wanted to take a look at Tetra. Up 9% on the day. Thick liquidity. So look how beautifully we hit the 61.8 extension here. Got rejected down there, now pulling back. Let's look at it versus BLS. See if we can see anything bullish here. So these are new lows. So we've probably, yeah, we've got bullish doves here. As you can see, these lines are poking through. Those are new lows, but you can clearly see here on the indicator, it's trending higher, right? And it's been confirmed. This bullish divergence has been confirmed. So not only do you have location, because we are inside the reload zone, right? Do you want me to take a look at this versus X? Because you might want to get more hex trading this pair. But we're on versus PLS here because I want to get more PLS. We'll do that analysis after that. So not only is there bullish divergences, what is this here? Let's plot that in here. That was actually lower. Yeah, okay, so no divs there, but on the short term there is bullish divergence. Okay, so you've got location, you have, do we have market structure? Yeah, you can see the clear W there, right? And that W has been confirmed. So we've got location, we've got market structure, and we have indicator confirmation, which is your bullish divergences down here. So this is a go, go, go. Let's look at it versus X for you. And what am I doing? I thought most of this liquidity trades against X. Anyway, I think I'm wrong. Hans, I just got out of eye surgery. I just got out of eye surgery with my mom and caught up with the beginning of the stream where you answer my last question. Thank you. Okay, so I guess you did get my answer, right? It needs to be on V1. You need to put off auto router. You need to put slippage to 20%. Okay. So I don't think it's an issue with Blast. I'm pretty sure they were open with it. They openly discussed it. Did you check Axis? Why is it mooning? Why is it mooning? I don't know. But Axis and what's his name? Xfire from xfire.io. They how do I say this? They're doing an experiment with liquidity here. Let's leave it at that, right? Let's leave it at that. It doesn't change a thing. You need to wait for your locations or stick to your strategy, whatever that is. Right? If you want to learn my strategy, you can do that. And it would have worked out perfectly. It doesn't matter who's buying and who's selling this thing. Just take your profits and be happy with that, right? I was so close to buying the bottom. I left for work that day and never bought. Yeah, I was unfortunately not here. And I was preoccupied. I was here, not lying. When I was on vacation, I was looking at this going down and should have gotten. But I was too preoccupied with other crap. But that's no excuse. I should have been getting some. Can I do incentive token? So yeah, I mean, people have been asking me, do I swap my PLS for incentive token here? It's been holding up very well, right? But these are some bearish stuffs all the way here. But it's from all the way back here. So if you've tried to sell this bearish stuff when it formed, and it's not confirmed yet. For it to be confirmed, it needs to break below these levels down here at 55. But I mean, value for your PLS is not up here, right? It was down here, and they actually called it that breakout. The evidence is on Twitter. But no one wanted it to take the trade down there. Everybody wants it here. And I'm glad it's holding up this well because I can get a steady amount of PLS and PLSX for my farm, right? And that is what I'm doing. That's what I've done from the start. The plan was to sell this to get rid of some of that impermanent loss, right? But I like both coins, PLS and PLSX, so I don't mind holding both. But I made that plan from the start. I can hold on to some PLS and maybe try and time the top, but this is where I'd be selling some, taking profits. You can see the clear box marked on the chart. That is the reload zone. That is where value is at. I don't know if this continues higher. It would be very smart if Richard Heart continued pumping this token because it increases the yield. That incentivizes more people to bridge over, farm the yield, and then they need to buy on the market, right? They need to buy PLS, they need to buy PLSX, and if they want the incentive token farm, because there's incentive token farms as well, they need to buy the incentive token again, right? And that nice little yield number, that 200 or 150%, that is what gets people to bridge over to put in their assets, right? And this is all dependent on this coin. And not only that, once we start pumping PLS, the PLS pumps the whole ecosystem, pumping Hex, pumping incentive, pumping all of our meme coins. Yeah, so that is the risk there. Does this continue going higher? Because if you can keep this incentive token high, it keeps our yield high and all of those downstream effects that we just talked about. And not only that, I mean, this is actually, yeah. I mean, you can still get it here and do well, right? But we just like basement cheap prices as a granny. And we would have bought it down here if it was part of the strategy. Did I cover PX? I actually didn't. Let's look at PX for you, seeing as it's been requested. Guys, don't be scared of an extended accumulation phase. The longer you move sideways in a very, very tight range, the more explosive the move to the upside will be. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands. Right, you can see how it squeezed nicely and popped out, right? We're pretty extended now. Let's move sideways, get to these Bollinger Bands to contract, get nice and tight, and then we can rally again from there. Yeah, just don't mind long sideways accumulation. That's probably the best thing that can happen for us here. And it's not a meme. You can go ahead and look at the, what do you call it? Link, right? So we did have bulldoves here. This is Hex versus PLS. We had bulldoves there. It was confirmed, but the confirmation candle went down there. So, I mean, it is a very, very cheap. It's at the bottom of its range versus PLS. If you loved it up here, you probably love it down there. So a large volume node here. You don't want to lose this volume node. You don't want to be making new lows here. That would be unfortunate. But this is the area where you should be interested. You can see how these lows have been defended. You can see the candle bodies here, and if I put it on the candle body closes, you can see how it found support there. You've not made new lows. There's a low that defended the price. There's a few. You can just plot them up. So there's still a lot of support for you here. The indicator got nice and reset, and this is even on the 3-day. Let's go to the daily. You can see how these indicators are trending higher here, price action lower. It just tells you that momentum is starting to change, but we don't have a W yet. This is catching a falling knife, right? So there's your first V of the W. This needs to defend a higher low and then break out. That's your breakout level there, right? Breakout candle, confirm the breakout. You need that confirmation candle, and then we can go higher. Very, 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 very cheap here versus PLS. But I don't know if this is the bottom. But once again, that is where you manage your risk, right? You're not throwing your whole portfolio in this trade. You're just risking a small percentage of your trading portfolio, right? You need two wallets. One hardware wallet that's either just cold storage. It can be liquidity farming, but nothing risky like a PLS USD position, because you'll lose everything. And if you're not aware, you probably shouldn't even look at that farm. And then maybe a hot wallet to trade. And that is only going to be a small percentage, maybe 10 to 5% of your overall portfolio. And with that small portfolio, you can start dabbling in trades like this. That will just save you from not getting wrecked, right? I've seen people that have lost 120,000, 60K in this launch shenanigans. Right? But don't, I mean, especially at a launch of a token, right? There's no reason for you to be making liquidity pools there. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of volatility, especially at the start. And that, yeah, not going to go into impermanent loss and how that worked, but you got pretty much wrecked if you had a launch and the PLS position or anything else, right? So yeah, definitely, if you loved PX up here, I mean, you're probably very, very happy here to be getting it here. But you don't want the price action to start trading down here. It's not the end of the world. It's just PLS showing a lot of strength, outperforming that cycle one narrative. But yeah, the market needs to defend this price action here. We can go a little bit higher and maybe lower then, but it needs to hold here. White token, PTGC. How about Pulse Trailer Park? I'm waiting for this to bottom out. It's now rallied 47%, but this is a V bottom, right? And it's on the daily chart. So this is what you call a dead cat bounce. I don't hate your coins. I don't date them. I simply just trade them. And we'll go to Rapid Pulse because we want more pulse, right? Looks like you did form some bullish dose here. Put on the line chart. Oh no. So a beautiful little W here, hey? Small little W, but that's all you needed and it was enough. I can still get this here, but because I like cheap prices, I simply won't chase this, right? Actually, this wick is nasty. Let's remove the volume. This is going to need some time to move sideways here. If it doesn't, if it just goes here, it's going to come down very, very quickly. So if you're a long-term investor of this, you want to see this move sideways, something like this. It doesn't have to take that long, just like at least a few weeks just to move sideways here, get those weak hands out, build a nice bottom here, good structure, and then you can go higher. Remember, the stronger the foundation, the larger you can build, the taller you can build a building. Weight token. I've got some weight. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. 6k liquidity. Guys, is this the only liquidity that they have? Oh, there's a... this is something else. This is an hourglass. Is this all? You know what? They probably have more liquidity on Balancer, because I remember CST Coast had partnership, or they were working closely with the PHUX guys. It's the only liquidity. Dude, we're gonna have to double check that. I'm pretty sure it has a pool on PHUX with large liquidity. Let's just make sure. Let's look for a weight token. Here we go. Let's wait for that to load. So there's a 15k pool here. That's not impressive at all. Either way, it probably doesn't need that, because I think you only need a little bit of this to get a discount. So we've come down all the way to the point of control. Right back to the start of this range. So I should probably get some here, because I got some up here. Right, but this is still in the reload zone. And the granny doesn't mind sitting underwater. She'll sit underwater for months. She either gets that double or it goes to 0. Because she manages her risks. She doesn't risk more than 5% on anything. Doesn't even mean, like, it doesn't matter if it's the most secure coin that was ever created and has all the guarantees in the world. She still doesn't risk more than 5%, because you don't know what's going to happen in this market. Bull divs all the way from here. This indicator is higher. You just need that W, the W to confirm. It's a little bit early here. We still only have one V. Let's make that V. We can break out. This is, can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some here. It's right back at the start. Lots of liquidity or lots of trading happened at this area. So people that accumulated in this range is going to try and defend the price, because obviously they don't want to lose their positions down. The RSI is reset. Let's see what the weekly looks like. The weekly is still trending down. And this is a downtrend. Right. Basic fundamental analysis or technical analysis teaches that the trend is your friend until the end, and this trend has not changed. You've got lower highs and lower lows. It needs a while. It needs a while to figure itself out here. Let's look at Hedron. I guess you probably want to look at Hedron from Pulse Chain, right? Just copy this and see if there's a larger pool here. I think the largest pool is probably versus X. Yeah, here with 78k. So you can see the little W here on the weekly. I'll put that on for you. The market likes to retest breakout levels. And that was the breakout level for this W. It's now retested it. This is called the sign of strength. The RSI could be lower. We're not back to these levels, but look at the strong bullish divs that formed down here. So we have location, we have market structure, we have indicator confirmation, and this is on the weekly. Can't fault the granny for getting some here. Then we can pull up our fib tool, and this shows us we're well within the reload zone. I mean, it doesn't get quite clearer than this. some builders forming here. All you need to see is some nice market structure. Can you see this nice higher lows and higher highs here? It's just like a flat and tight market structure. This is what is called accumulation. Like someone's buying here, defending the price, and buying slowly because they don't want to push the price against themselves. And when the market finally decides it's time to go, and it just explodes, right, and moves up. So yeah, I'd like to see the same thing happen here. Just this nice sideways market structure. Something like that, eh? The RSI is reset nicely on the daily. It's got bullish divergence. Can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some, because it's probably just going to start moving sideways here, accumulate, and then rinse and repeat. What is the BTC dominance telling us? I thought about this the other day. So, because BTC has shown such strength, this is the only alt season that we've had. Because now it's just the Bitcoin dominance has just moved sideways. And that's the only thing that this dominance has given us. And we've had a massive alt season just with this moving sideways. But that is understandable because this is the strongest BTC has ever been, right? So this preliminary altcoins season that you tend to get, you see, this is the one we had. This was DeFi season, right? We expected we might see something like this again, but all it did is it moved sideways, right? This is very normal for this market cycle until the end of this can still maybe, like Somi says, we were halfway or something like that. Maybe it goes a little bit longer. Then BTC asserts itself for that last leg into all-time highs. It should look something like this. Then you finally get the pullback into the ultimate end of cycle alt season. Hans, when you said they're doing an experiment with liquidity, did you mean the same thing as Zipcatcher did with Gophers? No. Totally different. It's seed chart. Nice, thanks. What about ETH BTC? ETH BLS, yeah, that's a good chart to actually look at. $13K liquidity, 120K market cap, making new lows here. RSI is way too high here for something that has taken this much punishment. It's inside the reload zone. These are making new lows. This is a new low here on the daily. You're still up massively, I mean, from these lows. I don't know how much liquidity they added. It's you're gonna have to watch it closely. It's got a lot more work to do. I'm gonna finish the live stream with that interesting chart that was requested from Blue Bun. This is PLS versus ETH. You can see the bullish divergences here as price action is higher indicator. I mean, let's put on the line chart because a lot of this liquidity has been removed, right? It's moved over to the. So all of this bullish divs, not only, I mean, there's hidden bullish divs here. As price action is lower, yet the indicator is higher. Let's see what the weekly is telling us. If it's, I mean, not much, but this, like, when we disregard the candlesticks, I think it's best to do it on here because the liquidity is so low. This is some of the best market structure I've seen in a very, very long time. Because if I plotted this here, and I've checked this, I've double checked it, You can see this low has been defended. We made this low. It's defended once. We ran it off. It defended twice. And a third time. Not only that, it's defended this low here as well. So you've got this massive W here. You can see this W here. And it's broken out. It's coming to retest this breakout level now. Currently falling below it. But that doesn't mind. That doesn't matter. Right? You've got the higher high. That is a change of the trend. The higher high was formed. This is a change of the trend, and we still have these lows that have been defended. And you can see that it has been defended. I know it's very, very close, but I've double checked it and triple checked it. You can see this low has been defended, right? This is some of the best, the cleanest market structure I've seen on the chart for a very long time. You want to see this, I'm not going to find the word for that, but either way, it's very symmetrical. This is what you want to see. And RSI is moving higher. These indicators have nicely reset. They don't even look like they want to go lower because they're forming hidden bullish divergences here. Hidden bullish divergence, you can assume that the trend will continue, and currently we have a uptrend here with higher highs and higher lows. You're inside the reload zone, right? I mean, what more can you say? I'm very bullish on this chart. Actually, what I did was I put the limit order at this area down here because I wanted to get filled on one of these wicks because it's very, very, very volatile. So it's kind of a bit of an alpha there. You can try and get filled on a stink bit here and then set a stink bit at the top because it's very volatile asset of a chart here. You can get some nice fills. And I should go check that limit order because this little wick filled that limit order a little bit. Appreciate the alpha, brother. Never heard of C. Please take a look at the FDM USD chart. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's look at Phantom for you. Log scale. Let's remove that. Let's put on balance volume. So volume really hasn't left this yet. Let's put up the RSI because I want to see if there's bullish divs that we can see on the weekly time frame. This is not playing along now. Where was the bottom for this chart? So it looks like this was the bottom. Yeah, that was the bottom there. Yeah, so there was some bullish divergences. Because you need indicator confirmation, right? We had bullish divergences all the way from back here. And, I mean, you can see the clear W on this chart, right? The low is there, small little W there. Then you've got the larger W, your large weekly W, which has broken out, right? So this has left the station. You have unfortunately missed this, but it's still inside the reload zone. But you've missed the cheap prices. Now, as you, this is indicator for the granny to get interested. So she can literally wait for this. She can miss this. But now she has to go and pull up her fib tool from the lows to the highs. Now she needs to wait for this reload zone to get hit, right? If it goes and she misses it, that's that. But that's her reload zone here. And you can see the confluence as that's your breakout level. So you could probably going to come down, retest this. Can go higher, you just readjust this. Maybe it goes all the way up there. This coincides with the breakout level. The retest down here. Many of these coins have only started doing this now, but I mean, This is what you want to see on the chart, right? Perfect market structure you've broken out. And this is what I mean when I say don't be scared of an extended sideways accumulation phase, because the longer you move sideways, the more expansive the wave to the upside will be. You can do fib extensions, but we're not going to go into that. It's not necessary. Have you used tetra limit orders for? Yes, I have. Have I been filled? Yes, even on very, very low, small positions. But I don't like coins being out my wallet. It's not really a good excuse, because either way. So I'm gonna see what Mr. Fed J Powell said. It doesn't look like it was too bearish, because the market is holding up well and rallying quite strongly. So it'd be interesting to see what the man has said. This is good. You don't want to see a doji form here. A doji would be like a small little body at the bottom here with this massive tail. It's still a long way away for this monthly to close, by the way. Okay, this has been long enough. Pretty sure I'm boring you all by now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do click the like button. There's 32 likes and 37 viewers. Thank you very much for that insane engagement. I will see you guys in the next video, right? Cheers for now. Play from Bishop Sync. Don't get wrecked. Please don't get wrecked, guys. There's still a lot more time, a lot of opportunities, right? Don't go FOMOing into a coin that's just launched and putting in all of your PLS on one side of a liquidity pool, because you will get absolutely destroyed. Please, 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 please be careful, guys. Thank you and bye-bye.